All right, but before that, let's go to IP in the news, right? So we've got two topics tonight, one about design patents and the other about Andrew Davis. So,
Trademarks.
trademarks. So what
So
should we do first?
why don't you do the design patent one?
All right, I'll do that. So everybody knows what a design patent is, right? Right, of course, no. So normally when we think about patents, we think about these big lengthy legal documents that have drawings and then sort of an essay after that. And they're legal documents that protect a lot of different variations on an invention. Design patents are different. Design patents are just drawings that are submitted to the patent office, and they protect the ornamental features. That is the way something looks.
Like the phone.
Like the phone, right. And so Oliver Wainwright of Guardian Online wrote a book review about the name of a new book out called Patented, 1,000 Design Patents. And what the author did was he went through all of the different designs since the beginning of the design patent process in the 1880s to show how technology and design has changed over a long period of time. So for example, one of the examples that they use is the design for a kitchen mixer, right? Starting from 1940 up until now. And you can see sort of how...
Why do you look at me when you say that?
Well, I don't use the kitchen mixer as much as you do.
You don't use it at all.
I think I know how to turn it on. But anyway, so it's a very interesting book. And one of the things he talks about is, for example, how fast food restaurants get design patents on their shape, so that if you're driving, you can see a Pizza Hut or a McDonald's, then they have a very recognizable look to them. And all of this is part of protecting, your strategies
and your brand, which Chris is
right.
A branding person.
Absolutely. And so there's a lot of different creative ways you can protect your brand using design patents. And it really became a popular legal strategy after the Samsung versus Apple case, where they were fighting over the way cell phones look, right? And so Samsung ended up winning $539 million. And all of a sudden, everybody got very excited about using design patents. And so...
so how many patents are there for a phone? Can you read this quote from the article?
I'm glad you asked, because Florian Mueller says that the number of patents in a phone is so huge that nobody's ever been able to count them all. So that's great for our business. And so we want to encourage technology developments like that for sure.
Okay, well, I'm not going to start counting them. Anyway, so their design patents are worth over $500 million. So even though it's like not this huge patent and not super expensive, the ROI on it can be tremendous.
Can be really tremendous. And the companies file these patents. So if Apple sues Samsung, then Samsung can sue Apple back on their set of patents. So,
so the lawyers make out. So anyway, okay. Well, I want to go on to this trademark one because I love this. So some of you will know Anthony Davis, who was the first overall pick in the 2012 NBA draft.
Right.
And he has a unibrow.
Right.
And he's very proud of his unibrow.
Yes.
So he trademarked, what did he trademark?
I can't remember the exact phrases.
Fear the brow.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. And raise the brow. And his quote was, "I don't want anyone to try to grow a unibrow because of me and try to make money off it."
I'm glad to hear that, because unibrow was on my next list of
things to do.
I was going to get some hair transplant or something, but
right.
Maybe now I'll just focus on something else. But
so I found this online from Bleach Report by Laura Depta, Ridiculous Sports Trademarks. So if you want to see more, but I thought that was by far and away the funniest one.
Yeah, that was pretty hilarious. And so now it's time for Richard's Roundtable, and we're going to go and talk with our guests and ask them if they have any questions about intellectual property in general, or if they have any comments on the articles they just heard. So why don't we start with Kevin Interdonato. Thank you for being here, Kevin. And we were just wondering if you had any thoughts about what you just heard.
Yeah, I think I was laughing a little too hard to focus on thinking of any questions when you started talking about the Unibrow thing. How can he make money on that? Just in general, was that a move to make money, or is it a move to make a statement?
Those are great questions, and only Anthony really knows. But I would
say branded merchandise. Kenya, what do you think?
Yeah.
I'm not a unibrow expert. However, I mean, I think probably a tactic would maybe to be building up some brand visibility. I was having a hard time like figuring out how you would monetize something like this, unless, you're really trying to speak to that niche market with people who, are in the unibrow market.
Right. And where does one go to get a unibrow anyway?
Right.
So, well, that's a really good point. And, lots of times celebrities, they just like to get trademarks on goofy things because the couple $100 that they spend on the trademark is worth the publicity of just being able to, well, I can file it and then say I've got, but so who knows what was in his mind. I wouldn't be fooling around with that guy anyway. He looks pretty big enough. So if he challenged my unibrow, I'd probably back down,
I love it though, because you know what, unibrows, like especially for women, have been like, oh, you got a unibrow. And I love that he's like taking it and owning it. So
yeah, that's a new trademark. Own your unibrow.
Yes, that was a good question, Kevin. Very good.
Delia, what is your thought on all of this?
Well, I was just thinking about how people were talking about his unibrow anyway, and so he just took those conversations and created a way for them to be positive. And I think that's great because typically, something like that is negative, and he is deciding for it to be a positive thing. And I love that. And I think it's a good example for kids and anybody else who may be self-conscious about a physical feature, right? Where it's like, no, it's me, it's who I am, I'm proud of it. And by the way, now I have a trademark for it and I'll make money on it. So I just think it's a fabulous example of that.
Yeah, that's a really positive way to look with that. I can't argue with that at all.
And so now for our other branding person, Chris, because Kenya's branding too, but Chris, what do you think?
Well, I mean, a lot of what I was going to say has already been said already, and it just goes to speak as to why personal branding is so important. But really, just to echo what Delia was saying, is the importance of embracing your authenticity and yourself and being comfortable with that and owning it. And I think it's awesome. I mean, it's a great way to do it. It's very smart. And once again, as we've already said a few times, is the PR value of it is great because look at it. We're talking about it and we're having a little discussion about it. So, and this is a very positive thing. And like Delia said, it's a good reflection on embracing who you are and being really comfortable with being authentic and, and why not really own that? And that's exactly what he's doing. So yeah, kudos. I love it. I love the move.
I love it too. And I'm going to start thinking of trademarks that I can file for my oddities. So like maybe like people with 9 toes are human too. I think, why not put it out there? So anyway, this has been a lot of fun so far. I think we're on a good track for the show, but we do have to take a commercial break and we'll be right
back. I think that new look
this.
has gone to your head. So anyway, I don't know. Okay.
Right back after this.